These different ones, we're done with the Pages tab. I'm going to click here on the Build tab. And you can see that there's lots of different elements that you can add to make your page nice and unique. So if you want to, you can simply come into one of the templates that's here and edit what's there. Okay, so if you want to kind of start with a blank slate, you could just go and notice that if I hover over each of these, it has an X, and if you select that X, it's just going to delete it. Or you can just double click in here and edit it. So let's say I want to do Italy. Okay, maybe I don't want this one here at all, so I'm just going to say off. Okay, for that feature, maybe I should say use this site to learn all about Italy and its global cuisine. Okay, so if I wanted to, then this picture, let's say I wanted to do a different picture, I'm going to open some of the different ones I have here, and I'm going to actually probably use this one a couple different times. Let's see about this one. Okay. That's really pretty. So notice I'm just going to drop it back behind there. Okay. And it should then fill it back into that side. It didn't look like it did that, so let me try it again. So right there, I just dropped it in, and so it created a new picture, and I'm going to delete it because that's not what I wanted it to do. I'm going to double click on this background picture and do edit background, and then I'm going to say replace. Okay, and then I'm going to drag my photo there. So if it's already a placeholder, try to select it. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Notice though that my words kind of went away, so it might be a better idea for me to go maybe pick a different picture that has maybe a darker background that's more contrasting so I don't lose my words. Okay, I want to go ahead and save that picture there for now that I have, and you can adjust accordingly. So the other thing that you need to do on your page is you maybe need to introduce your country and maybe share some other fun facts about it. So here I'm going to go back to my original information here on my page, some interesting facts. And I'm going to copy and paste these right now kind of for to keep it concise here, but know that these have been taken from the website but then also put into our own words so that we're not just completely copying and pasting. Okay, so you're going to have your interesting facts there. You also want to put your recipe in here. Maybe I don't want any of this at all. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to delete it. Okay, it's kind of a unique little setup of how the templates are. So you might want to keep something like that and play with them a little bit more. But let's say maybe I just wanted to put my recipe and I wanted to drag it and drop it. Okay, it's going to upload my image right in there. Okay, and it's going to fill the entire page unless you kind of adjust the columns, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So if I come in here then and I take my other image and I drop it right next to it, it should then push it to where they're next to each other. Okay, and you might need to kind of adjust a little bit. If you want to put some other text or something in here as a placeholder, you can, or you can just adjust. I could put one on top of another one if I want them to both span the entire thing. So it just depends. If you put them, drop them next to each other, it will put them side by side. If you put them on top of each other, then it will be as a running page. So probably depending on the sizes of your images, it might adjust what you want it to do for that. Okay, and I personally prefer for them to be side by side. Another strategy is something that you can do. Put it back up there. Another strategy of items that you can put in besides just images here is you also have like titles or text or other images. You could put a gallery in there, and if you dropped a gallery on there, basically what you're doing is you're going to put lots of different pictures. So it's going to then ask you to upload several images, and it will go through it as a gallery. So that might be a good thing to kind of like fill the space here if I wanted to do that. Something else that you can do that I think is really important to kind of make things look nice is to put a spacer in there. So these little spacer elements, if I put one right here in between, then you can adjust it. Okay, now again, it's going to be blank space, but if you care about kind of how things end at the top and bottom, it might make it look a little bit more centered to kind of be more visually pleasing. Let's say I wanted to put a title in here. I can just grab my title and I'm going to drop it across. And then maybe here I want to write recipes. Okay, and I could talk about the recipe that I have here. Same thing, if I wanted to add any of these elements, I just take it and I just drop it in, and it will insert that text. Now notice if I put it next to something, it splits it. If you put it on top of it, you can kind of watch the bars. So right now it's just going to drop right there, or it would go all the way across where that blue bar is where it's going to insert. Okay, so just something to play with as you're making it unique. So here's some different ones: title, text, images, gallery, and slideshow. You could do probably a lot. You could do a map depending on what it is exactly that you're wanting to find. So let's say, I don't know, I'll bring it in and then you can determine if you want to use it or not. Okay, so you have this, you can click on it and then you could type the address if you wanted to. So let's just try Italy and see what we get. I'm not for sure if this is just local addresses or not. Yeah, that's not working for us. So if you wanted to put in an address of a particular place, if you have a street address, you could try that and see if that works for you with Google Maps. Okay, I don't have a specific one for Italy right now, but you could maybe look up a restaurant or something like that. You probably won't use this contact form or newsletter form. This button icon, if you drop it in, basically what it does is it allows you to go to different areas within your page or go to another website. So I would click on the button text and you can then have some options for what you actually want it to say. So I could just have it say something like click here for more. And then when I go back, you have there's usually 4 styles that come with any of the templates. So you can do that, come back, and then your linking really is the main parts of where you change things. So you can either have it go out to a different website. So if I selected the website, then it would want me to enter the one that it wants to pop out when you click that site. Or if I click link and then say standard page, what that's going to do is it's going to link you to another page within it. So I could say click here to learn more, and maybe I actually want it to go to the Northern Italy page. So within that, it's a way to kind of link things within your own site. And again, anytime I'm clicking publish, then it's saving it live. So if I came back to my main site and I hit enter, then now I should be seeing all of these updates that are published live. Okay, a couple more elements. So I talked about the spacer a little bit. Same thing if you want to divide items up or have a different section, you can do that mostly to kind of keep it so that it's nice and visually pleasing. For some of the media items here, ones that have this little lightning bolt, you have to pay for those, so we're just going to stay away from those. The YouTube video is also a neat feature that you might want to do. So let's say I wanted to take the YouTube and I can just paste it right here. This is actually going to embed the YouTube video there. It's going to put kind of like a generic YouTube video in there at first. But if I click on it, then it will ask me for my YouTube URL. So let's say I have a video URL, and now I'm going to paste it in there, and I'm going to click off of it, and notice that it brings up that one, and it probably would be more appropriate for this one to go into my tourist attractions. But now you know definitely how to insert a YouTube video as far as built